This is Broadcast Obituaries, Gone Too Soon. We exhume a short-lived TV series, episode by episode, give it a proper eulogy, and answer the burning question, was it canceled too soon or not soon enough? Analysis, nostalgia, and our final verdict on TV's fallen heroes.
Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm Rob.
And I'm Aaron. And today on Broadcast Obituaries, we're jumping into Timecop, episode 3. I feel like it's been a minute, so just keep me honest. Because I always mess this part up. Stalker.
Yeah.
And did you know they go back in time in this episode?
What? They go back in time? There's time travel?
There's time travel. I was like, finally.
Sweet.
Timecop, and finally there's time travel. So, this episode aired originally on Monday, October 6th, 1997. The summary is pretty short. Logan, played by T.W. King, is sent back to 1956 to prevent a stalker from killing an actress whose future son will be the 44th president of the United States. Pop quiz, Rob. Who was the 44th president?
Barack Obama.
Okay.
Did you
I don't know.
look it up?
I don't know. I don't care. I'm so sick of politics anymore. I didn't even look it up. But I think it was.
Or did you want me to say the character's the name from the show?
No.
I don't remember his name.
No, I did want to talk about. Well, not even talk about it, just to see if there's any tie-in, because obviously they didn't know at this point who the 44th president was going to be, but apparently they thought it was going to be a white guy. So,
of course, yeah. Why would they have that idea?
Yeah,
was it 200 years of history to try to project that out there? Possibly, yeah. So I definitely
it was interesting.
I have some little issues with this episode, just tons of little issues, I think. So it'll be interesting once we get into it.
Yeah, we might be on the same page. Rewatched it last night. I don't know. We'll see. So before we jump in, though, do you have a back in time to October 6th, 1997?
Aaron, I sure do. Let's go back in time.
Yes. Back in time. Back in time. Back in time.
All right. So what I have for us here, I want to look at some albums that were released this week. You know, albums typically come out on Tuesdays. This episode came out on Monday. Let's look at what came out Monday and Tuesday. There were a few of each here. Okay. I do have a bonus back in time for us here when we get to the end of this.
Ooh,
Exciting.
I'm excited.
Yeah. So to kick us off, I want to look at a couple compilations that came out this week. There were 2 compilation albums here. One was called Death to the Pixies. And this was kind of a greatest hits for the Pixies. Do you know the Pixies?
I know the Pixies, but I don't do compilation albums. So
I honestly never knew that they even had a compilation album. I don't know if this was a greatest hits at some point, like to that point in their career, or what it was specifically. I didn't go that deep. I am a big Pixies fan, though. I really do enjoy their quirky music. The other compilation is called More Best of Leonard Cohen.
Oh, okay. More Best of Leonard Cohen.
Yeah. I really like the way that's worded. That's kind of the only reason I bring it up. But those were honestly 2 fairly major artists back in the 90s, 80s, and 90s.
Sure.
Just thought I'd mention those. Let's get into the meat of this, though. The albums that came out. I only have 3 here. The first, because there was not a lot that came out this week. The first that I have for us, though, is Kenny Wayne Shepherd with the album Trouble Is, and that features the song Blue on Black, which may be the only Kenny Wayne Shepherd song you know. It's the only one I know. You might know more than I do.
Probably the most famous serial killer of all.
No, I think that's John Wayne Gacy.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Sure. I don't know. It's, you get like 3 first names. I just assume serial killer. So
Absolutely. Especially with the name Wayne thrown in there. I'm pretty sure John Wayne Gacy is not the only one. There's got to be someone else. More. But that took a dark turn.
I did. Sorry.
Yeah. Blue on Black. That was a cool song, though, right?
I don't know if I know that song.
Oh, wow. Blue on Black, Tears on a River. Dun, dun, dun. It don't mean much. Yeah, I don't know most of
You're
the
going to have to keep singing it, Rob. Keep going. Serenade me so I can see if I know it. Serenade
It was a very popular blues song.
Okay. I might know it.
I'll
look it up.
Song. Yeah.
Check that one out. You know what embarrasses me so much is we'll get done recording and then I spend literally like 20 minutes just looking up songs on Spotify to see if I remember them. Half the time I do.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm clueless. I'm like, I didn't even know this was a thing in the 90s.
Okay.
So,
wow. This was pretty big. I'd be surprised if you did not know it when you heard it. But
yeah,
just thought I'd mention that. That was really one of the bigger albums right around that time. The next one, though, I mean, they get bigger from there. The next one that I have that came out is from Janet Jackson. It's The Velvet Rope. And this has tons of hits on it. Got Till It's Gone, Together Again and Every Time. And honestly, most of those names don't mean anything to me, but I played all these songs and I knew every one of them when I was listening to it. Together Again, I definitely know by the name. She was a huge part, like 97, 98. There was tons of massive. Janet. Yeah. Tons of Janet. She was everywhere.
It's really weird. My daughter and I went to see Michael. I think I told you this.
Yeah.
Went to see Michael in theaters, and through the whole movie, because spoilers, they set it up for a sequel, so you only get through maybe the late 80s by the end of this one.
Okay.
And my daughter and I kept going, where's Janet at? And like Janet never shows up in the movie. Like when all the family's around, she's not there. And I don't know the family history. There's a lot of stuff I didn't know about Michael Jackson, but like, is she like blood related or step sister or like where is she in this movie?
I actually just looked up the family tree the other day. Because I was curious about Jafar Jackson, who plays Michael in this movie. And I was curious.
Oh, he does a fantastic job. He does a fantastic job.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
But I forget exactly. I think Janet's just another sibling of all the Jacksons.
It was just weird.
Yeah.
So,
from what I've heard, it's like
nonstop.
If you like his music, it is like just.
Yeah. My daughter and I were singing along to every song in the theater. It was
fun. That's fun.
It was a good time.
That's awesome. Yeah. Definitely want to see that one. So that's Janet Jackson with the Velvet Rope. Our last one, the last time we were here, 2 times ago when we were here, we talked about Third Eye Blind's debut album and how phenomenal that album is and how you and I both listen to it front to back still to this day.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
The short video of that just went up on YouTube this morning. I'm expecting to take a little flack on that, honestly, because I called it one of the greatest guitar albums of the 90s, which I stand by if you're talking alternative rock guitar album.
Yeah,
I totally stand by that. But there's going to be people that are like, what are you talking about? Appetite for Destruction came out in 1991 and Slash is amazing on that Guns N' Roses album. Sure, I get it. Yeah. If you're talking.
So is what I hear is direct all comments towards Rob on that. I didn't have anything to do with it.
I'll take it. That's fine. I stand by it. I love Third Eye Blind's album. But similar to that one, how much I loved that one is this album. I listened to this one also front to back and still occasionally do, not as much as Third Eye Blind, but I definitely still have even recently. But it is Everclear, So Much for the Afterglow.
Oh my gosh, it's another golden one.
Yes.
Yeah. I still listen to this one.
Me too. Probably not in the rotation as much as the others, but I will listen to every track on this album.
Yes.
I mean, you had major hits on here. I Will Buy You a New House, Father of Mine, Everything to Everyone. Those were all massive hits in the 90s, as well as today. Again, I went to see this band about a year and a half ago. They played every one of those songs. Phenomenal.
Yeah.
But also, and I'll tell you, I don't know if I've ever mentioned this to you, but in that concert, they played a track that I never thought I would get to hear. It was off of this album, and it's the song El Distorto de Melodica, and it is just an instrumental. There were no words to the song, and I love it listening to it. They actually played that one live. I never thought I'd hear that live.
That's cool. But, they're pretty old. Like, what are my chances of seeing them live? Are they still touring?
Well, Art is pretty old. He's the only He's the only remaining original band member. They are still touring. They were actually in the area here. They were up in Kokomo probably within the last 6 months for a free show that you could have gone to.
I didn't know. I gotta keep an eye out.
You definitely have a good chance to see them again.
Yeah.
So tons of good songs on this album, though. If you've never listened to this album front to back, I highly recommend it.
Listen to it.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Yeah.
Just listen to it.
Yep. If you like 90s music at all, listen to this one front to back, as well as I just put in another plug, Third Eye Blind album. Yep.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that is our regularly scheduled Back in Time for today. But we had a comment come up on somewhere. Actually, I think it was through X. And we had a listener, Devin, if you're out there, we appreciate your interaction. And good to hear from you in comments and on X. It is awesome. But Devin recommended that we do Back in Time for the era that our show goes back in time to, which I think is a great idea.
It's like Back in Time Inception.
Yeah, exactly. Incepting down the rabbit hole right now. We really are.
Yep.
Today's episode, I think that you read to us, Aaron, Logan is sent back to 1956. We're going to look at it.
Sure.
This doing a back in time for pop culture may not work out so well when we go back to, before the year 1900. But we'll see if the show ever even goes back that far. It'll be interesting.
That'd be awesome.
We didn't do it for the first episode of the show where they went back to 1988, Victorian London.
I bet there's pop culture information out there. Now, whether or not
probably all about Jack the Ripper. It's probably about Jack the Ripper.
Might be. And I
that
don't
was
know
the
if any
whole
of us
episode.
could relate to it, but
Yeah. So I got a couple things here. We'll go through this quick. We don't need to belabor it, but it does set the mood for where our show is set and what it was like back then. So let's look at the top 3 movies first of 1956. Number 3 is a movie called Giant, and this stars James Dean, who we talked about in a previous season. I don't know much about this movie. I've definitely heard of it before. It was a very popular movie. It was number 3 at the box office, so it's going to be a big movie. But number 2, this is one I've definitely seen. I believe you can still catch it on Disney+. It's called Around the World in 80 Days.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, very fun.
Yeah.
Very fun. And some early, I'm not going to say CGI. It wasn't CGI at all. There were no computers. But some special effects. Definitely early special effects.
Really well done for the time.
Yeah, definitely. But number 1, very cool movie. Stars Charlton Heston. The 10 Commandments. The 10 Commandments.
Wow. That was 1956.
Right? Crazy to kind of think of that, isn't it?
I know. Yeah. Now, when was the last time you saw the 10 Commandments movie?
Oh, I was a child. So it was in the
Same.
late 80s or early 90s.
Yeah. I think my grandma made me watch that and Ben-Hur maybe.
Yeah. Oh, man. I love Ben-Hur. Ben-Hur's a great movie.
Yeah.
It was on like Saturday afternoon TV. It was on, I'm not going to say fairly often, but it was on occasionally. And if it was on, I would watch whatever was on TV. And if there was nothing better, I would find myself watching this. I thought it was a cool movie.
Yeah.
Let's also talk the music of the era. So I have the top 50 singles of the year. We're just going to look at the top 6. We're not going through all 50, mostly because most of us would not know most of those artists or songs to this day. We probably won't know all of these, honestly, the top 6 that I have here. But I'm going with the top 6 for a reason. We'll see that when we get to the end. Number 6 here is Elvis Presley with the song Hound Dog.
Oh, that's a good one. Everybody knows that song.
Yeah. Yes. That is a classic. Number 5 is an artist named Gogi Grant, Gogi Grant, with a song called The Wayward Wind.
No.
Don't know that one. No.
Don't know.
Number 4 is The Platters. I know the band. I don't know the song, though. It's My Prayer. Number 3 is an artist named Nelson Riddle with the song Lisbon Antigua. I did listen to Let's get to the top here. Number 2, we've heard from before. It's Elvis Presley with Don't Be Cruel. Another banger that we still know to this day.
Yep.
And number 1, you guessed it, it's a three-peat. Elvis Presley, Heartbreak Hotel. This was the year of Elvis Presley. He actually had 6 songs in the top 50.
Wow.
For the year.
So this was the year he dominated.
Yes, this is the year he hit
his stardom was
the main
established.
screen. Yes, we'll actually discuss that in a minute when we get to the TV section here. Just here are some other artists or songs from this list, just to get an idea of who was popular or some songs that we probably know. I know many of these songs. Little Richard, he was huge at this era. He kind of hit the mainstream before Elvis. They were very similar in music. Elvis kind of took it fully mainstream.
Right.
But Little Richard definitely was there before him. Oh, me too.
I remember the first time I think I heard him was in Predator, because they're playing the Little Richard song in the helicopter.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
The jungle.
That's interesting.
Yep.
Very interesting. There was a song on here by Bing Crosby and Grace Kelly. They were both very popular artists.
Yep.
That's Domino had the song Blueberry Hill. I know that song.
Yeah. I know that one.
It's probably the only song I know from Fats Domino, and that's the reason I recognize his name. There was an artist named Carl Perkins with the song Blue Suede Shoes. It was a popular song. Dean Martin, he was a crooner, similar to maybe Bing Crosby there. And the last one I have here is Doris Day with the song Que Sera Sera, or Whatever Will Be, Will Be.
I know that one.
Yeah, definitely.
I think everybody knows that one, or they should.
Yep, definitely. So that was the music of 1956. Let's hit the TV of 1956 very quickly here, and then we will move along with our episode. Elvis Presley did make his debut on the Ed Sullivan Show. That is when he hit the mainstream consciousness, got up on TV, black and white, performed, I'm not sure which of these songs. I want to say Hound Dog, but I'm not for sure on that. But very big moment in pop culture history right there when he did that.
Yep.
The Wizard of Oz aired for the first time on TV in 1956.
Oh, wow.
There were hundreds and hundreds of movies filmed before the invention of TV, and we will probably never see most of them. They're probably available now, but they started airing The Wizard of Oz on TV, and it had been, I think it came out in the late 30s, 39, I want to say, and it kind of fell out of the mainstream consciousness because movies there was no way to rewatch movies back then.
Yeah, it's a one and done deal.
exactly. So this one came out on TV and it kind of blew up and has
That's cool. I didn't
has
know that.
endured to this day, because of that. This was an interesting thing, but in this year, Bob Barker made his debut on TV on the game show Truth or Consequences.
Yep. I knew it wasn't Price is Right. I knew
That's
it
right.
wasn't Price is
You
Right.
got it. But
Yeah.
The Price is Right did premiere this same year. It came out in 1956. Bob Barker did not take over of that show, though, till 1972.
Yeah.
So it kind of changed format a little bit somewhere in the middle, and they revamped it when Bob took over in 72. But it did. I found it interesting that he hit TV in 1956, and so did The Price is Right, but separately. Interesting. So that's all I have for us for our
that's fun.
Back in time within the back in time, our incepted back in time, as you called it. I like that.
Yeah, I like it. I like this concept. Thanks, Devin, for the idea. We're gonna.
Yep.
I think we got to keep it going. Rob's gonna keep it going. This is Rob's deal. So thanks, Rob.
Puts a lot of pressure on me.
There's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, we will definitely carry this out through the rest of this season of Timecop, and if we do other back in time stuff, maybe we will for that as well. That's cool.
Yes.
I was going to ask you about Michael, but we kind of already had that little discussion there in the middle of our back in time.
Yeah, it was good. Go see it, people. Just go see it. It's good. It's really good. So
hey, I watched a movie not too long ago that I've been wanting to tell you about.
Yeah. Is this
I've been
movie
holding
in a
on to
minute?
it is definitely movie in a minute material. I could probably talk about it for probably not much more than a minute, but maybe 5. I could talk about it for 5, but I can definitely trim this to 1.
Okay.
It has been nearly a month. In case anyone, you guys don't know our schedule, we've had some delays on our end. You're not seeing any delays, but we had a couple weeks off. I watched this movie weeks ago, and I have been holding on to it. I have barely told you anything about it, and I am so ready. I hope I can. I have almost no notes on this, so I really hope that I can pull this together here. But
I'm
it's
like
cool
super
movie.
excited.
Okay.
Yeah. So
okay.
All right. I will count you down. 3.
Okay.
2, 1, go.
All right. Silent Rage is from 1982, and it is a movie similar in concept to The Reanimator. It is about some people that are bringing this guy. They give him some medicine at the beginning, and he kind of goes crazy. He gets killed, and these guys kind of bring him back to life, and this guy kind of stalks this small town. And unfortunately, he runs up against one of the toughest forces in the universe in Chuck Norris, who is the sheriff of this small town. And he's the one who kills him originally when he's attacking cops and everybody else. And basically, it's kind of a Frankenstein type story. This guy is just lumbering giant, and he is stalking the doctor who brought him to life, and all these different people. He's killing them. Chuck basically has to fight him to the death, and it's a very awesome fight scene. Somewhere in the middle, there is an awesome scene with these bikers that doesn't tie into anything else. They're messing up Chuck's town, and he kicks every one of their butts in this seedy bar.
That sounds like a Chuck Norris movie.
It is a Chuck Norris movie for sure. It is, to my, there might be more horror Chuck Norris movies. I don't know if there are or not. This is the only one I could find. It was a treat, honestly. It was fun. It was cool. It was very interesting. I'm going way over my minute now. I'm just kind of rambling.
No, yeah, it's just, yeah.
It was kind of funny to watch Chuck Norris in a love scene. And when I say love, I mean romantic bed scene.
Yeah. With
a woman, and it was kind of funny because that is not his forte. And I read that he was very uncomfortable with it, and he's like, "Can I just fight people?"
You said that, and I'm thinking back to Chuck Norris movies, and I don't know if I've ever seen him in a love scene.
No,
and I don't know that I saw Silent Rage. I thought I did, but when you were describing it, I was like, I don't think I saw this one. And 82 was a great year. 82 is a great year because that was the year I was born.
Is that okay? All right.
Yeah, so I had to throw it out there.
You youngster. I was born way back in the 70s.
I know. Yeah.
Anyway, Silent Rage. I forget where I watched that one. It might have. I cannot remember. It was one of the. I don't think it was Tubi. It wasn't Tubi.
I always assume Tubi.
It might have been Pluto. Might have been Pluto TV.
Yeah.
So check it out if you get a chance.
Yeah, I might have to do that.
All right. Let's talk about this episode.
Stalker.
Stalker, the most unoriginal name for an episode ever.
We talked about this with Earth 2. Some of the titles for those episodes were not great, so they're trying.
It was the 90s. I don't know if they were trying, honestly. Stalker seems like the title they would have put on it as a working title, and then they just never came back to it to fix it.
Yeah.
All right. So let's get into it here. It's 1956. It's Hollywood, California. It's August. They tell us all that. on a screen right at the beginning, we see some celebrities and reporters, and they're kind of beefing. They're, it's basically the paparazzi of the day. And there's a guy there named Johnny. There's an actress named Rita Lake, and he kind of shoves down one of the guys with the camera. We see him come back throughout the episode a few times here.
It was sad because he was like a shorter paparazzi guy, and he was trying to get his shot of Rita Lake, and Johnny opens the door on him and knocks him over.
Yeah.
And you can tell Rita was like, Johnny, what do you got to do that for?
Right.
Why you got to be like that?
They're definitely Johnny's trying to set it up. He is kind of a jerk. They're definitely trying to set it up that she's a good person, and he's kind of a jerk. Yep. So he gets her home. They got this convertible, as everyone in the 50s did, I think. Yeah. He takes her home. He wants to make out. She says, whoa, Johnny, we're just friends.
Not happening, pal.
Yeah, so she was definitely leading him on there, I think, going out on a date like this, and getting their picture taken. She stops him. She goes inside. All of a sudden, there's someone else in the dark behind him, and he wants a picture. He's like, hey, Johnny, we know you're the real celebrity here. Let me get a picture. So he holds up his camera, and you can clearly tell right from the start that it's not a 1950s camera. It is probably a Futures camera. It's tiny, biggest indicator right there. But he pushes a button. There's like
a
green
blue
LEDs.
Grid, like a grid system goes on Johnny's face, like he's being scanned.
It scans him. That's how I read it as well. He definitely scans him, seems to mess with his mind. He doesn't know what's going on. He turns around, he grabs a cigarette lighter because everybody in the 50s smokes, and he goes to use it, and we see the guy in the dark push a button, and it fries Johnny, like completely electrocutes him. Yeah.
A quick question. I don't know if you grew up with smokers in your family.
I did. Yeah, my dad was a smoker.
Okay. My mom was too for a while. Thankfully, she doesn't anymore. But
same. My dad quit.
How many times did you burn your fingers on the little car lighters that were baked into the car? Like, be honest. You never burnt your finger on them?
No, several times. Definitely several times. Yeah. My parents would warn me. They're like, careful, that's going to be hot.
Same here.
I'm still doing it.
I'd always have the little ring on my finger somewhere because I was an idiot. And I was like, I don't know. Is it hot? Let's find out.
The funny thing is, I think my parents' big concern was that I didn't drop it when I touched it. They didn't want me to drop it then and burn a hole through the carpet or the chair or something. I think that was their big concern, not the blisters I was going to get.
It wasn't for your safety.
No.
It was for their vehicle.
No. It's crazy that now, like, to get an actual cigarette lighter in there is an add-on on your car. Like, it doesn't come standard anymore. It is just the plug now, not the lighter.
Yeah. You just power stuff with it.
Yeah. So yeah, I want to power a cigarette lighter with it. That's what I want it for.
That's
not
what
that
it's for.
I don't smoke, but
I don't either, but that's the purpose.
Right.
So let's bring that back.
I agree. Kind of upsets me. Anyway, so now this guy that we saw in the shadows, now he steps out of the shadows and he looks just like Johnny. And he makes some witty remark. It was so witty that I forgot what it was. And then
I don't remember either.
And then the song was not one that we discussed in our Back in Time, but there in the soundtrack, there's a song where these ladies are singing "Puff, puff, puff your cares away," which I thought was hilarious.
I didn't catch it. I didn't pick up on it.
Funny song. So we jump to 2007. It's the TEC, the Dome, and Hemmings talks about a ripple coming. She says, I've had bigger pimples than this ripple. Just kidding. She says, I've had bigger scratches than this ripple.
Yeah. But like pimples. I don't remember that. But
no,
okay.
I definitely.
We'll go with Rob's rendition.
It seemed like there could be a funnier way to say that for sure. But I guess it's not a comedy. Not on purpose anyway.
Right.
I just have questions about these ripples personally. And now that I've said pimple and ripple, I want to say rimple. But I have questions about these ripples. Like if you know that history has changed, shouldn't you be concerned about every one of them? Whereas here, the boss is like, I can't waste people on something like this. This is too minimal. It's not worth our time. Seriously, someone changed history. You should find out about that.
Yeah, and if you see a ripple, shouldn't you can track it to what it's going to change, right? Like because they talk about this that who cares about this? Just some guy named Johnny got shot and killed, and even Jack's like, who cares? He didn't seem like a good guy. What difference does it make? But then they immediately start talking about like Rita and her son is going to become the 44th president. And it's like, well, I mean, how did you get this alert and not immediately have something flagged that the president is not going to be the president?
Right.
And you should be concerned about it. Instead, they're just like, man, let's just let it go. Let's skip it. we'll move on.
My real question with all of that, though, was, so first we find out that Johnny, and when I saw this first time, I thought Johnny was actually one of the celebrities, like just a tough guy actor. He's like a mobster or something. He's a bad guy. He's a tough guy. And so they tell him, hey, this guy was supposed to die 2 weeks later and he died now. And that's why Logan's like, is that a big deal? Sounds like he should be dead anyway. And then they're like, yeah, but it looks like he died taking a bullet for Rita Lake, who goes on to be the mother of the 44th president. It seems like a big leap. So what they say then is, we should go back and see who is stalking her now, because they saw that she had a stalker at the time. I have 2 issues with that. First, if she had a stalker at the time, how would that have changed the timeline? Because that already happened. She had the stalker. They're implying there's a new stalker. That's one of my issues with this.
I didn't even catch it, but you're right.
It doesn't make a lot of sense. But also, it seems like a big leap to go from saying this mobster died 2 weeks early to saying someone's after Rita Lake.
Right.
Why do they make that connection? It's the right connection, but it seems like a bit of a logistical leap to me.
Yeah. It makes it easier for the viewer. That would be, but time travel wise, it makes no sense to just make those connections. Yeah. Like he could have just said, I got to go back and investigate the early murder of Johnny. And that should have been it. But instead they give you all the exposition on what's going to happen. Yeah. This is what we're going to see, just so you know.
Yeah. So it's whatever. We just got to accept it and move on, right? We keep saying that, and then I keep harping on it.
Well, it bothers us because you can do time travel well. We know it, but they are phoning a lot of this in.
Yep.
So
they're getting ready for the time sled. Time sled makes an appearance here. They do another temporal download for the year 1956. I kind of forgot about that technology, honestly, because I think it was in the first episode. Then they skipped it. I'm glad they brought it back too. I don't know how helpful it ended up being here. They never tie it back.
They don't. I don't think he uses it ever.
Yeah. There's also some bad jokes here about Logan getting dumped for a prom. I don't know. I kind of skipped over those. What's the point of that?
It was kind of weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were talking about his ego or whatever.
Yeah.
Weird.
He time sleds out of there. Parks his time sled
Vale's
in the temporal space, drops it with the valet,
ticket.
goes through the whole process. They don't show that, of course. They
tips the guy. Probably has a little chat because he's not on time technically.
Right. So he's like, hey,
how are the kids? How's everything going?
Got to grab a meal.
Yeah.
He does all that. And then he's like, okay, I got to head to 1956 now. And he pops out 1956 from a mirror. I haven't seen this yet, but he walks through a mirror where in a changing room where there's a lady trying on a dress and trying to see if it fits her or suits her.
And it's so funny because the mirror is distorting. Yeah. And when you watch the lady, like it makes it look like she just suddenly gained a bunch of weight.
Yeah.
And she keeps like looking down, checking her stomach and her butt. And she's like, what is happening? Like,
this dress makes me look terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Logan, corrects her and tells her it's you. So maybe she feels better about herself.
He does this whole thing as he's leaving. Like you already took a good look at her, buddy.
It's 1956. You got to. I mean, she's fully decent here. Like one strap of the dress is off of the shoulder. Otherwise, she is. It's on fully. It's not a big deal. But it's 1956. That's not proper back then, for sure. He goes to the scene of the crime where we see Johnny. We don't know that it's a crime. They don't know that it's a crime. We know it's a crime, but it's Johnny's car. The police are there investigating. Logan asks the main detective what was the cause of death. Smoking. Ha 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 ha. What a good one.
Did you like his joke when he walked up?
Which one was that?
I don't think AAA is going to cover this.
So dumb. What wouldn't AAA cover? I mean,
death or
just got to start the car. I think the car's going to run. You don't even need AAA.
Reupholster the seat and you're good to go.
I actually had to look that up to see did AAA exist in 1956. AAA was actually founded in 1902. For basically as long as we've had cars, we've had AAA.
I didn't know it was that long.
I know.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So the cops leave. I will say that the main detective here who comes up throughout this entire episode, he's a major character in this episode. I don't know him at all, the actor. However, every time I see him, he reminds me of an actor from a show that you still need to watch desperately. But from the TV show Justified, there is a character on the show named Wynn Duffy, who is kind of one of the Dixie Mafia bad guys on this show. He reminds me so much of him. It's uncanny. I had to look it up 2 or 3 times. Like, I've seen this episode in all transparency. I've watched this 5 times now. And at least 3 of them, I looked it up. I was like, is this guy really not the Wynn Duffy actor? And it is not. But he reminds me so much of him. A dead giveaway is that this guy's eyebrows are completely sane, whereas Wynn Duffy's eyebrows are off the hook. I mean, they are they look
like Wilford Brimley eyebrows, just crazy.
Bigger. Like they look like wings on his face. It's hilarious. Oh, very distinctive. Anyway, if you're trying to picture him, that's what the guy looks like. The character Wynn Duffy from Justified. Justified, also probably one of my top 5 TV shows of all time.
I need to watch it. You've been nagging me for years. Yeah. So
they leave. Logan's there. He's checking out the car. He finds some technology in the car, in the lighter that is from the future, clearly. Some circuitry, so he knows something is up. Rita Lake comes out of her house. She wants to know what's going on. He says, and right before she comes out, he saw a matchbook on the ground. Yep. And I don't know why a matchbook is like the cliched clue that they used to find in all the old crime noir books.
All the killers drop them.
They do. They drop matchbooks all over the place. And this
Which doesn't make sense
did here too.
Because the killer just takes the cigarette that Johnny had lit and smokes it. He doesn't even light a fresh cigarette at the scene of the crime. So why on earth would he even have a matchbook out, and how did he drop it?
It doesn't make sense. Not at all. So he saw that. He didn't he tells Rita, "Oh, I dropped my smokes, or I dropped my matches." And she says, "Oh, well, here's my lighter." And then he's like, "Oh, I forgot my smokes too." She's like, "Well, here, have one of mine." So
good. He
clearly has been trying to avoid taking a cigarette, but he can't refuse it because literally everybody in the 50s smokes.
Well, it was healthy at the time. Like doctors would prescribe it to treat you for things,
Right. Which is one reason I had a problem with that joke, the cause of death, smoking. In 1956, I don't know that they knew that smoking could cause death.
No.
Maybe that was just a joke for the people in the 90s.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Drop my matches.
Let me give you a light.
I must have left my smokes in the car.
Have one of mine.
2 mile.
That was so funny. Because, when a cigarette's mild, you cough more. And he does a really good job of just fumbling it around in his hands, because he's like, I can't smoke this. What on earth do I even do with this thing now? And he's doesn't know.
He has no idea how to hold it. He has no idea. It is probably the funniest part of the show so far, through 3 episodes.
Yeah.
Probably the funniest part. Again, not that it's a comedy, but I love when things are also funny. And it was a hilarious scene. They had talked for a while. The gist of their conversation is that she thinks she's being stalked. That's about it.
Yeah.
Which didn't start with the time traveler, just to be clear, because it gets confusing, honestly, between the two.
Yeah.
So she leaves. Logan finally picks up that matchbook. He told her he dropped his matches. I don't know why he didn't just pick it up then, but instead he kind of hid it to show that he couldn't, I don't know. But he picks it up after she's gone, and it says Hollywood Hotel. So he goes to the Hollywood Hotel and he gets himself a room. He signs in on the ledger, and he sees that just above his name on the ledger is the name Barry Manilow. Yeah. And Barry Manilow, I don't even know if Barry was alive in 56, but he was definitely not an adult and getting a hotel room.
Right.
So Logan knows something is up. Yeah. So he lets himself into Barry's room and has a look around.
Did you see what he signed his name in on the ledger?
No, I didn't.
Barry White.
That's awesome. That's
Barry
awesome.
White.
Did he do that after he saw Barry Manilow's name?
He did. He saw Barry Manilow, and then he has that little short exchange with the front desk guy, and he's like, "Do you want me to sign the ledger?" And he's like, "Oh my gosh, you can write!" And then he writes his name in, Barry White. Thought that was funny.
Do you want me to sign the ledger? Oh, you actually know how to write. I guess we're getting a better class of clientele.
What I don't know is, are the jokes in this episode that fall flat, are they because the people in the 90s were writing bad jokes, or were they trying to emulate the 1950s when people apparently didn't know how to tell jokes? According to this show, that's how it makes it seem.
Were people just not funny? Bad comedy?
Yeah.
I don't know. I found them hilarious.
Okay.
I think because they were bad. Bad. So.
They were definitely bad, and I definitely laughed and rolled my eyes, but not because they were funny, for sure. Right. So he goes to Barry Manilow's room, and he looks around. There's a bunch of, a shrine to Rita Lake all over the walls, a lot of articles, and he notices that one of the articles is from 1957. It is a year after this. So that's no bueno. There is something sneaky going on here. He found the future tech. He found stuff from the future of this date. There is time travel going on for sure.
Yep.
The detective has been tailing Logan. He follows him here. Logan shows him Barry's room. The cop is not overly impressed. He's like, there's probably rooms like this all over the city.
Yeah. Not
That's
a big
about it.
deal.
Yep.
Yeah.
Logan goes to a bank. Exciting scene there. We find out more about that in the future.
Yeah. I got a question about that when we get there. I don't want to spoil it.
Okay. Good. Yeah.
So.
I mean, don't. Rita, we see Rita. She goes home. There's a box at her door. It's a present. I think she takes it inside. She's opening it up. And all of a sudden, there's someone in the house with her. It's Johnny. And she's like, well, you're dead. And he's like, nah, I got better. And
I'm good.
Yeah, they're fighting. Logan bursts in. I don't know how he knew something was going on unless he was just staying close. He fights off Johnny. Johnny runs away. And outside in the dark, we see Johnny's face change. He changes into someone else. It's Ian Pasco.
Bum, bum, bum.
Yeah.
He's back.
He is back. It's actually, and he is the Ripper. He was the Ripper from episode 1. We knew he was going to show back up in this show.
Yeah. I was impressed that he came back in just an episode. Like he had one in between.
I thought it might be the series finale or season finale.
Right.
Like I thought it was going to be much later. He took an episode off and then he is back in action.
Yeah.
So what's funny is that when I saw him change here, I was like, all right, there's a guy. I didn't recognize him as Ian Pasco because we saw his face so little in the first episode. I didn't put it together.
I recognized his jawline when he scanned Johnny's face because they had that little silhouette. You could just see the bottom part. And I was like, oh, okay, I know who that is.
Nice.
So
yeah, you paid much more attention than I did for sure.
Yeah. It's my superpower.
We go back to 2007 and they find a message from Logan in a newspaper again. They said he's sending them something. And that's all we get at that point. We jump back to 1956. And there's 2 women talking as they walk across a studio lot. It's Lucille Ball and probably Marilyn Monroe, I'm guessing.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. I thought it was an interesting little thing just to see. Like, so it's in the foreground, but it's got a background conversation. But it's just them talking as they go past. I thought the Lucille Ball imitator was incredible.
Really good.
Yeah. And the
Same.
Marilyn Monroe was fine. She looked a lot like her. The Lucille Ball one was so amazing. Like I was just like, that is Lucy. That is her.
Yeah.
But it was a neat little conversation, I thought. I did look it up. The 2 never acted in anything together, but they were photographed together a few times, so they probably did know each other.
A little friendship.
Yeah. So neat little moment. I'm guessing that the people who wrote this did not do as much research as I did, even because they don't seem to care about research, and they were just like, who are 2 big name actresses that we could have interacting here?
Yeah.
So lucky for them, they probably did know each other, or else I would take issue.
So thrilled to hear about your marriage. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you very much. Actually, I was hoping to get a little advice from you.
From me?
Oh, yes.
On marriage?
No, on children.
Oh, wonderful. You're going to have children. Well, the first thing
The detective shows up again. I should really know his name by this point, but I don't.
Nolte.
All right. Now I hear it. Yep.
Yeah.
So Nick shows up. Just kidding. Nolte, not Nick Nolte. But Detective Nolte shows up. He beefs with Logan a little bit again. There's a photographer. It's the guy.
Is this where he draws a line?
He draws a line.
I draw a line. The city is mine. And
yep. You step on this side. You cross that line. We're going to have trouble.
Yep.
The photographer from the beginning kind of calls Logan over. He says, hey, I got some information I want to sell you. I take issue with that whole storyline as well. We'll get there in a few minutes. We jump back to the future, 2007. They have a locked deposit box that they got from the bank. And it's got the evidence that Logan was sending them there. He hid it in 1956. It's a DVD and the Future magazine. And apparently the magazine, while it's dated 1957, it's actually a reproduction. And it was actually from a further date, date in their future, because the paper that it's on has not even been invented yet in 2007. Yep. What do you want to bring up about this?
Yeah, so the safety deposit box, did they just have a plan that they know what safety deposit boxes are going to be used? Because this isn't the first time he's done it.
Right. Yeah.
You know?
They must have something set up is my only guess. Yeah. They never mention it. They don't talk about it.
But they must have like contingencies to send messages back and forth.
If you need to use something, here's the key to this box. We've owned it for the last 70 years. Go ahead and put whatever you need in there and drop us a message in the newspaper.
Yeah. It's interesting.
That's my guess. Yeah. I actually didn't think about it till just now, but that all kind of makes sense as I say it out loud, right?
Yeah. But the paper can't be destroyed?
Yeah. You ball it up, it unwrinkles itself.
Can't be crumpled. Yeah.
Yep.
So,
Can't tear it. Nothing
pretty
like that.
impressive paper.
I know. I can't wait to get it next year.
It's like
I think
nano.
they decide it comes from at least 20 years in the future. So like 2027.
Oh man.
We're
gonna
almost
be a great
there.
year. Great
It
year
will.
next year.
Yep.
What have you got?
Trouble. This cover is a reproduction of the original. The paper that was used to copy it is from a polymorphic fiber with a compound carbon base.
I got eyes, Hemmings. I know a polymorphic carbon, whatever it is, when I see one.
Logan and Rita are on a date. Stan comes to pick her up, take her to the studio. Logan and Rita smooch, and Logan is really looking forward to seeing her later. Boring scene. Logan goes bowling. That's where he's meeting the photographer.
Yep.
And Logan hands him a wad of money. Don't know where he got 1950s money. And the photographer says, I know who's going to kill Rita. First of all, I don't know why they think someone's going to kill Rita. The stalker wants her. He's been killing all her boyfriends.
I know it hasn't even come up except for Rita saying that I think I have a stalker.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's again another big leap. And then the guy says and then he's killed, and he gets shot with a laser. And it's Ian Pasco again, who I'm going to call the Ripper. It's a lot easier for me to call him the Ripper.
Sure. Yeah.
I don't know why the Ripper is trying to stop this guy from talking. There is no way this guy knows who the Ripper is because he's from the future. He doesn't even exist in this time. He's been hiding.
Yeah, there's no reason to kill him. He's the
right.
photographer. But
yeah, Logan is throwing bowling balls at the Ripper. The Ripper is just shooting at him. Logan kind of dives down the alley and hides. And we learned that the Ripper is a terrible shot. For the most famous murderer in history, he is a terrible shot with a giant laser gun.
Yeah.
So Logan escapes. He gets outside, but Detective Nolte is there again. He knows that the photographer, Joe Arturo, was meeting there to sell him something. He must think that it's about him, which probably it was, I guess. They go inside. They find all the wreckage, Joe's body, and I think Logan is under arrest at this point.
Yeah, he's in jail.
Do we see him in jail there? Yeah, we jumped
to 2007.
We jumped to the future.
These scenes are so inconsequential when they jump
back to the
future.
Really. I mean,
it's
in the future,
we don't forget they exist.
It is another illogical conversation where this is where they realize the time traveler must be from at least 2027. That's next year. That's what I wrote in my notes there. And that because of that, they're like, who else do we know that is a murderer and from our future? They're like, it's the Ripper. Again, a big leap. There could be all kinds of people from the future trying to kill people, and it could have come from much further in the future. We don't know. So our chief historian, Dr. Easter, Mr. Easter, I don't know what his title is or how we reference him, Easter, has dug into it. This is about his only action in this episode and tells us that the detective is the likely stalker. But now, throughout this episode, now they keep referencing the future stalker and the past stalker, and it gets confusing and, again, unnecessarily confusing, in my opinion, to do all this. But apparently Nolte has killed 5 of her boyfriends, even though Johnny was not really... Oh, he didn't kill Johnny, but he would have. Apparently, and I guess there was a bullet intended for Rita at some point, but maybe it was just intended for Johnny. I don't know.
Who knows? Yeah, it's all very convoluted.
It is. We go back to 1956, and Rita's attorney bails Logan out of jail. But it turns out it is not her attorney. It's the Ripper again, wearing another mask. Yeah, digital mask. And... he frees Logan so that he can live long enough to watch Rita die.
It's very nefarious.
It is. And again, terrible move, honestly. Logan already foiled one of his murder attempts. Why is he letting him have another?
I know. It's like a cat and mouse game.
Yeah. So Logan is walking down along the street, and a lady asks him for help with her car. She says she's a long way from home. He says, oh, where are you from? Which is a silly question. I don't know why. And she says, from 2007, it's Hemmings, and she's wearing a pretty dress.
Yep.
She says, hey, she's like, hey, this is what they wore back then. I looked it up. And Logan's like, hey, you're looking good.
Nice.
Yeah. So she's here. She's going to stay close to Nolte while Logan goes looking for Rita. And again, if there's time travel here, Nolte is not the danger. The Ripper, the time traveler, is the danger. That's why I keep having issues with this.
Yeah.
You should let the rest of the timeline proceed as normal.
Just let it play out.
Yeah.
Just stop the Ripper and don't touch anything else. I kept having the same thought.
Yeah.
Whoa. Clutch, Hemmings. Clutch.
What's a clutch?
Hemmings goes to Nolte. She's got a story about a purse snatching. And she's a pretty lady, so he gets her name and number, even though he's a homicide detective. He's like, well, I'll give me your name and number since you're unattached and alone in the city. And he has to go somewhere. She has to use his phone. And he leaves her alone there. So he searches his office, and she is checking out his gun. We find out later in the episode she takes all the bullets out of it.
She does.
Very, very important. But this is where she does it. Logan is with Rita. She gets a call from Mr. Berman down at the studio, and it's the Ripper, of course. He says he sent a car to get her. They got to finish doing some recording. So the car does take her down to the set, but Logan goes down there as well. He notices there is no work scheduled for this day. So he busts out of the set. He finds Rita strapped into an electric chair, and she can't get out. She's confused by what's going on. She doesn't realize there's something more nefarious going on.
But they're not filming. Like she seemed confused that they weren't filming, but it was like the fact that there is no crew anywhere.
Right.
Like,
should be a big hint.
Yeah.
Logan's trying to find a way to get her out of this chair. She's locked into it, and Nolte shows up, hits him, knocks him down. He gives his big villain rant about what's going on. Hemmings shows up here to help Logan. This is kind of where most of the rest of this happens. There's fights going on. Apparently, the Ripper has suspended a safe over Rita, because apparently
the electric chair is not enough.
The electric chair is not enough. Now we're going to drop a safe on her. This is like a Wile E. Coyote Roadrunner cartoon is what this is.
It got a little weird. Yeah.
He can't just cut the rope either. He starts a tiny lighter going on it to burn through the rope.
Future lighter. Tiny future lighter.
Definitely a future lighter. Definitely a future lighter. So that it will burn through this rope. And let's see. The Ripper tells Nolte he needs to leave Rita alone. Nolte's like, well, I'm going to be the one to kill her. So he shoots her. There's no bullets in his gun. It's hitting on an empty
he keeps
chamber.
Trying.
Yeah, he keeps going. Maybe the next one has a bullet in it.
Yeah, Hemmings like, I took all the bullets.
Yep, haha, you got an empty gun. So really all she did was sentence him to death, because now the Ripper shoots Nolte and kills him. I don't know how that's going to impact the timeline, because who knows if he died originally. There's no mention of it. I mean, obviously he died at some point. It's 1956. He died
but
eventually, probably of lung cancer.
Couldn't his premature death have changed something?
Right, exactly. So
they don't see
Logan... Yeah, not at all. They don't care about changing time, apparently. Yeah. They do it every episode.
Yep.
Logan's trying to stop this thing from happening. He's up in the rafters. He's grabbing on the rope, or he grabs on a rope that swings him up into the rafters so he can get the rope that's to stop or knock the lighter over or something. The Ripper's up there. They're fighting. The Ripper falls off. I think he gets knocked out maybe. Then Logan moves the lighter and stops the rope from burning. The safe is still suspended there with a partially burned rope, but they seem to think we can get out of this in time. And they do. Hemmings gets the keys out of the Ripper's pockets. They get Rita out of there, and then he and Hemmings arrest the Ripper. They handcuff him and take him away.
Yeah. The only thing I put in my notes here is Ian kills Nolte, Jack catches Ian, Hemmings saves Rita. Because the whole scene was so convoluted. I was like, and that's all you need to know.
Yeah, that's why I really stumbled through it here. It was hard. Rita and Logan are talking. She wants to get to know him a little bit better. He would really like that. But he cannot be the father of the next president, so he has to leave town. Someone else will be the next president.
He's
That's
taking
right.
a new job, he says. He's leaving
That's
town.
what he tells her. Yep, I'm taking a new town somewhere else in 2007. Same place Hemmings is from. I'm going home with her. Rita and Logan smoochy. They kiss a little. They're making out right there over Nolte's corpse. Kind of weird.
Yeah.
We jump back to 2007. Logan and Hemmings are having a snack, eating some popcorn. They're watching the movie that Rita was making there. It does end with her in the electric chair. And then the movie ends, and at the end there's a screen that comes up, and it says dedicated to Jack Logan. They've changed time once again. And it's kind of a sweet moment. I like the ending. I thought it was cool, personally.
It was fun.
Yep. We see the Ripper, though. He's sitting in a prison cell there way in the distant future of 2007. And he's upset. He's watching the same movie, and he sees that scene, and he's making plans. He's plotting. He's plotting.
He says he liked his ending better.
Yes,
what did he say?
What
it was much more artistic, he says, or something.
Yeah. So we'll see. I foresee dark things coming in the future, which we will also read about when we read the next episode description. But before we get there, Aaron, what'd you think?
It was a mess. It was fun to watch, but
I like this. I like the setting. 1956.
Right. I think that's the best part when you get a period piece and you get to dive into it, but the story was convoluted. They didn't focus on, like, I don't know what, at what point they were like, we just got to stop Nolte. You don't stop him. You just got to stop the Ripper because you can't change time. But they completely just were like, we're just going to change time. Like, we don't care anymore. We're just going to save everybody and stop everything bad from happening. So I think that's just the part that gets me now. I watch these and I'm just like, you're a time travel show, and the first thing you throw out is the importance of time travel. Not to mention, how long was he back in time? A week, 2 weeks? All of a sudden, this episode, they're not worried about him being back there for too long.
Right.
Now
getting squished like a temporal grape.
Right. So I'm just like, you guys are tightening it up a little bit, but so not great.
Okay.
Yeah.
So time sled parking spots, scale
sled.
1 to 9. I think the first episode you gave a 4. The second one you gave a 4, if I remember correctly. What are you thinking for this one here?
A 3. And I'm realizing that I'm basing it mostly on how they handle the time travel, and they just don't stick to any of the most important things they tell you that they have to stick to. They immediately throw it all out the window every episode. I
agree. I mean, and that is fair. There is nothing wrong with judging them based on that. It's a time travel show. There's nothing wrong with it. I definitely, in my rankings, I've definitely tried to look past that a little bit, but
no, it eats at me too much.
I don't disagree. I don't disagree. Trust me, after watching this one 5 times, it definitely got a little old. It definitely got
super fan, like a Timecop super fan.
Again, we were a little delayed in this, so I would watch it like once a week, thinking maybe if we're going to record this week, maybe I should do this. And it kept getting away from us. We couldn't. So I just kept rewatching and rewatching and rewatching. It was brutal. So I feel that is going to play a factor in my ranking of this, because as I'm reading my notes that I wrote the first time I watched this episode, and I said, I liked this one. But after watching it 5 times, I'm just like, what a freaking mess. And I even wrote, I liked this one. It didn't have many time paradox issues, but it does.
So many. Yeah.
So many. I did like the general idea of this story. I'm not sold on the Ripper as this recurring villain whose only motivation is to be a famous murderer. But he does all these murders in disguise of someone else, so no one would even know that he's a famous murderer.
Yeah.
And that he keeps saying that, like when this one he talks about, Logan's like, why are you after her? He's like, she's the most famous actress in history. Who better to kill her than the most famous murderer in history? That is awful motivation for a villain. Yeah. I'm sorry. It's terrible.
Nobody knows you exist. So
right. So I did like the setting. I really like the 1950s setting. I liked seeing Hemmings do some time travel and become a bigger part of the show. I'd like her as a character, or I think I could like her if she has a decent role, which she finally got in this episode. Episodes 1 and 2, she was barely in.
Yeah.
This one, she's got a bigger role. So I like that. And I think even the next one, she's going to have an even bigger role. Oh, it doesn't. Oh, yep. There she is mentioned. She's going to have an even bigger role. And I'm very happy about that. But overall, I think I gave our first episode 5 time sled parking spot. I gave the second one 4 time sled parking spots. And I'm going to have to agree with you on this one. I would go 3 time sled parking spots again. And again, I like to do like half, like 3.5 or 4, but I will not do that because we're doing parking spots and I will not park on the line for a parking spot. So
it's a jerk move, dude. Don't do
it. It is a total jerk move. So this one I had, and again, watching it 5 times may have really hurt my analysis of this. It sounds like based on watching it 1 time, I would have ranked it higher, but oh my goodness.
Well, I watched it twice and I liked it about the same both times. So
okay. Yeah. It was tough. You were a better judge of a show's character the first time around, because I definitely gave it the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, you're just excited. You're excited to watch
it. I am. I like watching new things for sure. So
I do too. Yeah.
I'll try to limit my next ones to 1 viewing at the most. At the very most, maybe just half a view. We're basing this review on half.
I watched 20 minutes.
Yep. I got the general idea. I watched the first 10 and the last 10.
Yep.
All right.
That's fine.
Anything else to talk about this episode? Any thoughts? Closing remarks? Bitter feelings?
I just hope they get better. Yeah. I hope that they start to learn their lessons or find different stories and just tighten it up a little bit, because the paradoxes are they're getting out of control. They really are.
Yeah. I don't think it's going to get better the next episode. Just guessing.
I don't either. Reading the... well, here, let me
read the
description.
Yeah, let's read the description for the next one.
I'll make assumptions. Episode 4, Public Enemy. Aired Monday, October 13th, 1997. Ian Pasco, the Ripper, escapes from prison and takes Hemmings to mob-ridden 1928 Chicago, where he becomes allies with gangster Al Capone.
Okay. All right.
Definitely no paradoxes in this one. This is going to be the cleanest episode they've done. Super tight time travel. It's going to be great.
Definitely. He and Al Capone are not going to be robbing banks or shooting Tommy guns next to each other.
No.
None of that is going to happen. I'm sure he is not going to impact, the future. He's not going to stop the Wall Street from crashing 1 year later in 1929. Oh, that's interesting. The movie goes back to 1929 when Wall Street crashes, the beginning of the Great Depression. This is 1928. There's almost an overlap there between Jack Logan and Max Walker.
Wow.
Almost. Who knows? Maybe they stay in the past for a year. We don't know.
Yeah, we don't, because apparently it doesn't matter how long you're back there.
Even though by then it might be fine. Yeah, absolutely. All right. So, it'll be interesting. So far, this show is not off to a great start. I'm still enjoying it. I love time travel, and I love seeing the different time eras. Trying to look at it critically, we're giving it some pretty bad reviews. I'm still enjoying the show. Again, this one I had to watch 5 times.
If somebody says, is it entertaining? Yes.
Yeah.
For 6 episodes?
Right.
Just watch it. It's fine.
9 episodes.
9 episodes. Sorry.
9 episodes.
Oh, crap. 9 episodes. Okay. For 9 episodes, it's worth
we
the
can
watch.
make it. It's 6 more. We got 6 more to go. We can do 6 more.
That's what I was thinking of. We got 6 more to watch.
Yep. Yeah. We can do it. All right. Well, hey, this has been a fun episode. Remember to like and subscribe to, whatever. We're on YouTube. We'd appreciate it if you subscribe to us on YouTube. If you can, you'll see a lot of content on there.
Do.
We make some longer videos. We make all the shorts. You can catch it all. If you miss an episode, you can catch up on it there. You see the video. Like our videos, subscribe, enjoy, leave comments. Devin has been leaving us a ton of comments. Thank you, Devin, and we appreciate it. We'd love to see more of that. So
yeah, for sure.
Not necessarily from you, Devin. I'm not asking you to leave more. We just want to see more people engaging. I love it. It is fantastic. We try to respond to everything that we can.
It's really fun.
I love interacting with listeners. We've had a few others, and it's fun. So thanks a lot, everybody. And anyway, this has been Broadcast Obituaries. I am one of your hosts, Rob.
And I'm your other host, Aaron. And Rob dropped something.
My mouse.
He dropped his mouse.
Dropped my mouse.
And
thanks.
We'll catch you next time.
Yeah.
Thanks, everyone.
Whoops.
All right, I'm ready when you're ready. Get all the boogies out.
Right. All the scratch and itch.
Yep.
Farts.
Is that a Stranger Things shirt?
It is a Stranger Things shirt.
Nice.
You're supposed to ask me about that on camera. Oh, I guess we are on camera, aren't we? We are recording.
You can use it. I was like, I didn't even know you watched Stranger Things, but you got a t-shirt.
I saw the first season. I actually wore this to a Halloween that we came to your house. My wife dressed up as 11, and I wore this t-shirt when we went out Halloween trick-or-treating.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
This is probably after season 1, because that's really the only season we watched.
So that's been a long time ago then.
It's been a long time.
Yeah.
But
I have forgotten this already.
Well, I'm shocked that you've forgotten.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Sorry.
There's no reason for you to remember a t-shirt I wore at your house 10 years ago.
I do cherish our friendship, but
sure. That's exactly what you're telling me.
So.
Yeah. Apparently. Okay. One time I was working this job. I worked at FedEx for a little while, and the night shift. You work with some fun characters on the night shift at FedEx, let me tell you. But I was working with this kid, and we were talking music and whatnot. And we were just standing on this line. It was the most boring job in the world. I flipped boxes so that they were label side up. And by up, it could be any side except for the very bottom. I just had to make sure the label was not on the bottom and put it on a different conveyor belt. Mind-numbing work. So you talk about whatever, and then you get distracted, and you send boxes down the line with the label on the bottom. It inevitably happens. But anyway, I was talking with this kid. He was a youngster. I was like 30. I was talking with this kid, and we were talking music, and I was like, oh, I'm a big fan of Pearl Jam. He's like, oh, man, you must have been born in the 80s. And I was like, actually, I was born in the 70s.
Yeah.
And then I stopped talking to him and didn't speak to him.
He made
again.
you feel old.
He did.
You shunned him. It's a very old man thing to do, Rob.
Just saying. Well, I'm an old man. It's very clear now to me, thanks to him. So I got to embody it.